Recently, I concentrate a lot on sports and on workout and how to be healthy because I'm really against plastic surgeries. People can be pretty and healthy by working on themselves and eating properly versus just going to the surgeon.
I've had cosmetic surgery.
No! No! No, nigga! She did not just say that! No! Oh! Yo! People are bugging!
In 2018, for instance, only in America, there are 257 million people who have a smartphone. And out of these people, 80% of people are on social media. Any one of these 80% can actually become an Instagram model. And I think that really a very small portion of people can become a fashion model. It's completely different because if you take away the makeup, if you take away the filters, if you take away maybe the plastic surgery and all the retouching, see what is really at the end, you know.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, and I can say why. The thing is, we don't retouch photos that much anymore because we do body positivity and we're actually proud to show the cellulite.
It depends who, I guess. Yeah, it depends.
And I feel the industry has moved a lot away from what it used to be. Oh, the filter, editing.
If anything, the influencers nowadays, we're trying to break that down. We're trying to break down the filters. We're trying to break down, you know, hiding behind Facetune and Photoshop and whatever shit that, you know, we got on our phones these days. It's starting to become more raw. That's why I think that we're on the front line too. You know, we're posting all our flaws and every little roll and stretch mark and everything, and it's up for people to judge.
I'm pretty sure at least 2 of them have had a lot of plastic surgery.
It's possible. But what does it change?
I always also just think it's kind of weird to be body positivity. Doctor, change my body.
Yeah, I know.
That's weird to me.
There's a girl on Instagram, she's like full of surgeries, which is fine. I don't care. I'm not dogging that. It's just that she wrote, accepting myself. Click. And I'm like, hashtag accepting yourself now.
Recently, I concentrate a lot on sports and on workout and how to be healthy because I'm really against plastic surgeries. And I'm trying to emphasize a lot that people can be pretty and healthy by working on themselves and eating properly versus just going to the surgeon.
I've had cosmetic surgery.
No! No, nigga! She did not just say that! No! Oh! Yo! People are bugging! Yo! That Jubilee is evil! Yo. They edited that like surgical precision. They got a 7-kill streak in Call of Duty and called in an airstrike, my nigga. What the f did I just see?
Talking, and I was looking at her upper lip not moving, and I was like, the thing is, you can have had plastic surgery and not be for it anymore. Don't look at me like that. I ain't even part of that.
Listen, I don't care that these Instagram models do what they do. I'm just like sick and tired of being people being full of shit. If you had plastic surgery, it's okay. But don't preach to everybody that they should love themselves as they are when you weren't able to do it and you pay thousands of dollars to have a doctor cut you up and fix you the way that you wanted to see.
And now that you've done it, now you're preaching. It's I know what it was.
It's like preachers who say no homo and
homo.
Well, I broke my nose 3 years ago, and it's like not a fake story. Actually, like my nose is still crooked. I broke a nose like 3 years ago, and I had to get my nose done. And I did remove the bump because you're already paying for it, so might as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that made you happy.
It made me very happy. Like I honestly was insecure about my bump, and I was getting a lot of not the good compliments necessarily about it. I loved it, but still people were like, And yeah, it made me very happy. They still couldn't fix the whole thing, but
Yeah, no, for
What
sure.
did you do?
Breast augmentation.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an enhancement. It was something that was gonna make me happier, so I just did it for confidence.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I have a huge problem with what they're saying. If you're telling people to love themselves as they are, and you're then afterwards saying, I became happy because of what I did.
That's what I said.
That doesn't make any sense. If you're saying cosmetic surgery is what made you happy, then you are preaching something to people that is unhealthy. If your self-esteem is based off whether or not you get a cosmetic surgery, you have a poor basis for self-esteem. It's the equivalent of preaching veganism while eating a turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
Animal cruelty, give me a hot dog.
If you have plastic surgery and you preach hashtag loving yourself, change that. It's loving yourself now.
I just feel like for Asian girls, like we're not gifted in like, we're gifted with our genetics, like Asians don't raisins, but like when it comes to our body, like we need to put in either like the finance or like the work in it. Thank you.
I had like the tiniest funny nose when I was little, and I was like, oh my God, like I didn't like my nose, you know, it was weird shaped. And when I grew up being a model, then the photographers were like, oh my God, we love your nose. I was like, who, me? Like, my nose, okay. And it really taught me to accept it, and I love it now. I'm so glad, you know, I never thought about doing any surgery on my nose or anything, but, you know, it taught me to love myself the way I am, so.
Going off of that, I've had like a similar experience. I'm half Japanese, so I wasn't really, you know, blessed with any curves. And I used to not like that. I used to be like, oh, when people see me, you know, I don't look attractive, I don't have boobs, I don't have a butt. But as soon as I got into the modeling world, they're like, oh no, that's a good thing. It's good to be flattered. So it's like, oh, okay, now I have something to be proud of. Yeah.
My job is inclusive of all body types, races, genders, sexualities, and abilities.
When I was growing up, I was never thinking that I can be a model because I was never the modeling type. Now I'm represented by an agency. I work with the worldwide brands. I could never think that that would ever happen to me, and I'm so grateful. Here they come.
It's not inclusive of all body types because generally the things that I'm wearing are not made for all body types. So in order to do my job, I have to maintain a certain, you know, form, you know, a certain shape.
For runway models, what these designers are creating are sample sizes, and you have to be able to fit into the sample sizes. So that's mostly why it's not as inclusive of body type, I guess. But I definitely do believe that the modeling industry is becoming more diverse. Yeah, especially like nowadays. So.
I would love to say that, you know, the modeling industry includes everybody. It does include races and everyone, but it's true when we talk about body type, people have to be a certain height and a certain, you know, body shape to be able to do it. It's like comparing someone who plays tennis and plays for fun and someone who plays professionally and actually trained for years for that as well, like Roger Federer. Not everyone gets to be him.
That was a low-key diss. She's basically saying, you guys are just doing this for fun.
You know, people that don't have real jobs, you know, it's for, you know, professional like myself.
I think photoshopping my body is okay.
Wow. All right. Well, they're not consistent with their views. There's some people that are not consistent with their views. You know what I mean? That's exactly what it is. Hey, bro, don't.
What do you mean? Don't preach the word of God if you don't follow it.
Amen. This thing got you irate.
You preach, and if you didn't preach, I'd be like, change your name, nigga.
Like you said, and when you're in magazines, you know, I've seen my pictures on e-com and their thighs are smooth, there's no cellulite, and you know what? That sells the clothes, it gets things done, it's what the customers want to see, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
What happened? I don't say what happened to the idea that you wanted to sell an image that was attainable for everyone. Oh no, now because it sells, forget my morals and my values because it's, man, people gotta be more consistent. This is very disappointing.
Yeah.
Very disappointing because I had a negative impression of Instagram models from my personal experiences and what I've seen online, and this just made it worse.
I'm not cool with it.
Perfect or what?
No, I'm by no means perfect.
I'm just curious, before you start, like, have you two never been photoshopped? Like, nobody has ever retouched your photos in no way?
No, the question is, are we okay with it? No. That's a different question.
But you signed
because,
the waiver,
no,
so that
I'm
means
not
you're
saying,
okay with it.
I'll be honest, I'm not saying I'm never retouching my photos, yes,
Okay.
but it does not make it okay.
I think when it comes to retouching, I don't have control of the image. I do the job, and then they have control of that image. So that's one thing. Like, if it were to me, I would like to be as natural as possible because I'm a human. And so I have flaws, and I'm thankful for the way I look, but I'm not perfect. And so I'd like to represent myself. Like I'd like to be, this is who I am. And sometimes I'll look and like see these filters and people look like aliens.
Are they low-key dissing her?
Yeah.
Okay. They talk about
They are, because you can tell there's a difference in levels of intelligence.
Ain't that crazy that the most body positivity person is actually the runway models?
Yeah, well, he said he has flaws, but everyone's like, nah, nigga, you look perfect, right? But even him, he's
But
like,
he accepts it.
But would you refuse a job if you would know they're gonna Photoshop the hell out of you?
If they're gonna Photoshop the hell out of me, then I'm not doing the job.
So you would
Essentially,
accept being paid
yeah,
for
like
it.
it's not me,
Sometimes,
then might as well get anything. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
that's true.
Has anyone
Yeah.
here been okay with reshaping their body through Photoshop?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. And as long as like my photo looks good and I don't look like too hourglass, like I'm fine with it.
But how do you decide? If you're okay with it, then you're okay with them doing whatever they want.
So I get to have my own photographer and makeup artist, and my photographer edits my photos, so we can always collaborate on like reshaping and stuff. So it's not like a magazine.
my personal opinion when it comes to especially Instagram models, I'm like, yeah, no, that's a no for me. One, because they promote lifestyles that aren't reasonable, that aren't real, that are completely fake. You know, the difference between them and models is like models are on the runway. You know what I mean? Like when and also the culture for models, at least from what I've personally seen, hasn't been as pervasive as how social media influencers are in everybody's phones. Am I wrong?
I think you're right on that.
Right? So when I see the influence that they have and how people with like no followers are trying to build their empire and how they're trying to mimic stuff and how it's like they've created this lifestyle around their work where their life is beholden to their work and the work is not beholden to their life. Does that make sense? Meaning our work is based off our lives. Our lives is not based on our work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. And also the fact that we don't do the same thing because people say, yeah, but you guys are on the internet. Dude, yeah, but you don't know that much about my life. We do social commentaries and that's pretty much it. We don't showcase you how lavish our lives is because it's not. We broke.
But even if it was, I wouldn't promote it.
I wouldn't.
Because that's not what this is about.
And it's none of your business.
But I don't know. You can't compare what we do to what Instagram models do.
No, absolutely. That's not. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not.
And I don't think anyone's going to try to make that argument with us.
But you know, some people are pretty dumb sometimes.
Let them be dumb. When it comes to Instagram models specifically, as a result of what kind of life they try to portray as being real, then other people sit at home and then they try to emulate that lifestyle. It's not real. It's cringy.
You see it in clubs.
It's cringy. Everyone's trying to act like they popping bottles and doing all this dumb nonsense. I'm like, it's embarrassing because I'm like, you're sacrificing your real life to portray something online for likes. So all this to say, I mean, just didn't give me a better opinion of people that I already had a bad opinion of. And yeah, that was cringy as shit. This is why I don't follow Instagram models online. I'd be like, nope, not gonna feed into this garbage. But anyways, maybe we're seeing it incorrectly. Want to hear your comments below. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the Instagram models represented very well? What about the runway models? Tell us know what you think.